Hello everybody, welcome to the Java example section. In this section, I'm going to create a roster table by using an ArrayList of ArrayLists. The idea is like this. I would put the names for a day in the roster into an ArrayList, and then I would put a number of such ArrayLists into an ArrayList that is going to store the ArrayList of names for different days. And from this ArrayList of ArrayLists, I'm going to get the days of duty for a particular person. Let us see the implementation of this idea. Since I would like to use ArrayLists, I need to import the ArrayList library beforehand. Okay, I can go to the driver program. Suppose I have 3 days of work in a certain activity. So for these 3 days, I'm going to set up 3 ArrayLists that are going to store the names who will be going to be on duty on different days. The idea is like this. I would like to create a big ArrayList that stores the ArrayLists for the 3 days. I call this ArrayList a roster. So this statement is like this. I would like to create a big ArrayList called roster. In this roster ArrayList, there are 3 elements, each of which is simply another ArrayList of strings, references. So I'm going to store the day and the names for different days in a certain ArrayList at this level, and then I would like to pack up the ArrayList corresponding to the 3 days into a big ArrayList called roster. Okay. So now I'm going to set up each of the small ArrayLists. Or we call them sub-ArrayLists. For day 1, I would like to have an ArrayList that stores the names that will be on duty. So I would need 2 more such ArrayLists. One of the ArrayLists has a reference variable called day2, and the other one has a reference variable called day3. Suppose Alice has to be on duty on day 1. I would add Alice to the day 1 ArrayList in this way. Bob is also a person to be on duty on day 1. So I would add Bob to a ArrayList reference called day 1. And suppose only these 2 guys will be on duty on day 1. In this case, I simply pack the ArrayList whose reference is called day 1 into the roster ArrayList in this way. I simply make use of the add method of the ArrayList to help me do so. So I simply pack up an ArrayList into an ArrayList. So for day 2, Alice, Sam, and Mike will be on duty. And after that, I would simply add day 2 array list into the roster array list. On the last day, there will be 2 people, Ray and Sam. And after I have finished adding the 2 names on day 3 array list, I'm going to pack this array list into the big array list called roster. If I want to get the days of duty for a particular person, I can try to set up a method called getDays. My idea is like this. I would like to provide the roster reference variable together with the string that represents a certain person that will be on duty on a certain days. Okay. So in my Java program, I'm going to check the days of duty for Alice and Sam. So how can I set up this getDays method? I can set up this method here. Okay, this is the method signature of the getDays method. Since I would like to pass the roster reference variable, I would like to set up the correct data type for that roster object. Okay, so it is an array list of array list. So I simply use this long data type, and the formal parameter of this array list of array lists is called roster table, and the name has a formal parameter called name, which is easy to understand the meaning between the name that I'm going to pass to the method and the formal parameter. Here I'm going to go through every sub-array list from the roster table. That means I'm going to loop over day 1, day 2, and day 3 array lists. And from each of these array lists, I'm going to search for the particular name. Here I use the for each approach by using the colon. Okay. If a certain name obtained from the sub-array list is equal to the name provided by the getDays method, I would do something like this. Okay, that's the idea. Let me save it first. Index of method is simply returning the index of the sub-array list representing day 1, day 2, or day 3. Since these indices would start with 0, If I want to make it start with 1, I need to add 1 to the index provided by the index of method. Okay, so let me check the answer by running it. Okay, from the console I will see the days of duty for ArrayList first. ArrayList will be on duty on day 1 and day 2, so I would get 1 and 2 as the days of duty for ArrayList. And for Sam, he will be on duty on day 2 and day 3, so I would get 2 and 3 as the answer, representing the days for Sam. So this example is complete. The idea of the example is that we need to set up an array list of ArrayLists, and I can also pass this array list of ArrayLists into a method by using this long form of data type. My code is intuitive and straightforward, but it may not always be the best or the most efficient solution to the problem. If you can suggest any idea to improve my code, feel free to do so on the comment section below the video. If you like this video, please give me a like and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching.